Hi, thanks so much for joining me. So this will be my daughter's seventh grade independent readers. Reads for the 2025-2026 seventh grade year. And if you guys watched my previous video, which was like the curriculum haul, I showed you guys, oh, that's kind of loud on the Velcro. The Sharper Keeper, I just went ahead and did a really quick, easy book log in this binder on graphing paper. The first book is a Usborne Law for Beginners, and if you guys also saw my 7th grade curriculum haul, you might have seen some of these, but this is the Usborne Law for Beginners. My daughter wants to be a lawyer. She is interested right now in family law, and like it has different types of law, and they have different books like this, this series by Usborne, different topics. Yeah. So this will be part of her independent reading time. And then, sorry, if you hear my cat, we have some empty boxes and he's playing in them. This is In the Beginning, Creation Stories from Around the World. And so this, again, yeah, so this is just kind of, these are like the two that aren't traditional fiction. Well, I mean, this is stories, but you guys don't. I mean, novels. These are the only two that aren't novels. The rest are novels. I like the illustrations too. Okay, so there was that. And then, so now I'm going to loosely do these in order kind of reading level. I'm going to start with the lowest reading level. And these, like I said, are in not exact order because I don't know the reading level of some of them, but I just kind of guessed. And then all the way to adult. Adult. So I have early middle grade, YA, and adult. Okay. So this is my favorite children's author, middle grade author, and this is Katie Camillo, The Hotel Balzar, a Normandy tale. So Katie Camillo has a series called the Normandy, sorry if I'm saying that correctly, tell. She has a Puppets, a Spell Horse, and then this one, The Hotel Balzar. I think there's going to be a third one, or there will be coming out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really liked it. And so my daughter hasn't been keeping up with the Katie Camillo. We read a lot of Katie Camillo when she was younger, but she, likes fantasy, and I'm like stuck. I just love my Katie Camillo, but I encouraged her to choose one. I kind of made it mandatory. I was like, I really wanted her to read some middle grade that she wouldn't normally read at this point. Even though, yeah, this is very early middle grade, I would say, if even, but it's like a story within a story. It's very well edited, like all of her work, and the illustrations are gorgeous. But basically, I said you have to choose one Katie Camillo book, and this is what she chose. As far as the newer ones, she's read a lot of the older ones, but it says, okay, so at the Hotel Balzar, Marta's mother rises from the sun, puts on her uniform, and instructs Marta to roam as she will, but quietly, invisibly, like a little mouse. While her mother cleans room, Marta slips down the back staircase to chat with the bellman, study the painting of an angel's wing, and watch a cat chase a mouse. While dreaming of the return of her father, who has gone missing. One day, a mysterious countess appears. So basically, it's like kind of a mystery a little bit, and like she meets this woman, and her father's missing. Very interesting, very fairy tale-ish. Okay, so this one's Roald Dahl, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't know if you call this a chapter book or a middle grade. I just put it. But yeah, this is a classic. We watched the movie many times, but she never read the book. Well, she did read many of his other work. So Mr. Fox is a clever fox. Every evening he creeps down into the valley and helps himself to food from the nearby farms. And what will happen? Okay, so this is Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of NIMH. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. By Robert C. O'Brien. It's a Newbery winner. This is another classic, children's classic that she just never read, and I never read either. And all about little animals, yeah. So all about mice and a rat, or rats, you can say, little animal story. Okay, so this one is Christopher Paul Curtis, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963. This is definitely middle grade fiction. I don't know if it's considered, I don't know if it's historical fiction or just middle grade fiction, but Basically, it's a family who's moving. I'm sorry. Going on a trip to the south to visit their grandmother in Birmingham, Alabama. They don't realize they're heading toward one of the darkest moments in America's history. Yeah, so it's historical fiction. Their journey reminds us that even in the hardest times, laughter and family can help us get through anything. So this is The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. This was one that was new to me recently, and I just thought my daughter might like it. And it's basically 16 people gather for the reading of a will, and no one knows why the game-loving millionaire has chosen a virtual stranger and a possible murderer to inherit his fortune. One thing's for sure, Sam Westing may be dead, but that won't stop him from playing one last game. So I thought this was kind of like lawyerish. I don't know. Okay, here's another children's classic. This is Heidi by, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Johanna Spiri or Spiri, I'm not sure about names, but that's okay. I loved this book. I read it, I believe, like last year, and my daughter has read the graphic novel, and we have the graphic novel, and she wants to read the actual novel. Who is this? I don't know if it has different translators. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it's a little cute story about Heidi who goes to live with her grandfather. And I really love it. And okay, so this was another requirement. I wanted her to read my favorite middle grade because I think they're so worthy of a middle grader's attention. And she normally wasn't picking these books up. So I said, you have to read One Kate DiCamillo off my shelf. You have to read a Lauren Woke. And you have to read a Brian Selznick. I want to say that was my 3. And I assigned everything else. But I really was like, yeah. So she picked this one by Lauren Woke, Beyond the Bright Sea. And this is like historical fiction-ish. Kind of. It's like the story of a 10-year-old girl who lives on an isolated island in Massachusetts, abandoned in a boat when she was young. So she's an orphan. So she is being raised by this man who rescued her, and this woman, well, kind of, it's like her neighbor. And she's curious about where she came from. And it deals with, I want to get to the author's note because I don't feel like I'm going to mess it up because I haven't read it in a while. So basically it's about people who have Hansen's disease. I want to say the other term is leprosy, if I'm saying that incorrectly. Basically, and who were sent to live, and in many cases die, on this island because it was contagious and people didn't want to get it. It deals with the isolation and the loneliness of dealing with that, and then also being an orphan due to those circumstances which aren't your fault. And it's really sad, but the book is very empowering for the child to what she goes through and her strength and, the difficulties she's had to face in the whole situation is just like very it's one of my favorite books for middle grade. Okay, so this is The Invention of Hugo Cabret, Brian Selznick. This one is very highly illustrated middle grade fiction. I love it. It's like a lot of illustrations. And if you haven't read this book or seen the movie, do both. And or if you're not interested in reading it, watch the movie. It's a very good movie. The book's awesome, but for some reason, do both. Read the book and watch the movie. With the movie, I'm telling you, it's one of the best movies ever made, especially for children. It's so well done. It's so good. We actually saw the movie before we read the book. My husband discovered it when my daughter was very young, and it was it's very low stimulating. Like the colors are very beautiful and rich, and it's like, real actors and stuff. So we used to play it a lot for her when she was really young, and I plan on showing it to my son, and we own it. And so anyway, it's about an orphan, if you're not familiar, who lives in a clock tower, and basically it says orphan right here, so I'm not giving anything away. Basically, it's all about his life and in his train station, and then the people he meets and the things he overcomes, and it also has to deal with the history of cinema. It's layered, And there's some beautiful writing in here and really beautiful illustrations. So my daughter picked this one because I have another one by him. Yeah. Okay. So this one is a never-ending story. Is it Michael Ende? Yeah, I'm not sure. Classic tale. Now this one, again, we both saw the movie. Love the movie. Love it. Oh my gosh, the Good Luck Dragon. He's so cute. And so I really was like disappointed with how tight, like, you know, like you can barely see the, like you have to really open it to get the text. Yeah. So never-ending story. YA, I think, I'm not sure. Okay, here's another children's classic, Little Lord Fauntleroy. Now this one's probably like a little bit earlier, but I just grabbed it here, by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I love all of her work. I read The Secret Garden, The Little Princess. Is it A Little Princess or The Little Princess? I'm not, I don't remember. Does it say? Okay. And Little Lord Fauntleroy. Oh, he calls he calls his mother Dearest. It's so cute. So yeah, it has some color illustration. So this is a classic story about a little boy and the relationship between a little boy and his mother, and I believe a grandfather he gets to know. And it's just sweet. Like, it's just a sweet little well-written story. And it doesn't have a little synopsis, so I don't want to give too much away, so I'm just going to say that. If you like her work, then definitely check this out. And if you haven't read any of her work, I recommend to start with The Secret Garden, which my daughter read The Secret Garden. And she really liked it, so. Okay. This is The Call of the Wild and White Fang. So my daughter actually picked this one. This was one of the only ones she picked. It's from our shelf. We got this at a thrift store years ago by Jack London. And the cover is missing, but that's okay. And so I'm assuming she's interested in both stories. But she picked it from our shelf. Classic. Doesn't also have a synopsis. I never read these myself. Pollyanna. Eleanor H. Porter. And so this is illustrated. It doesn't have many illustrations, honestly. It's mainly just the chapters. I thought it was going to be more illustrated, heavier illustrated, but yeah. The cover is really cute. So this is another story. I love my orphans. I have a similar bio. I'm not technically an orphan, but I don't want to like get into it. I mean, I could get into it, but like since it's really like a book channel, I won't. But like, I just like resonate a lot with stories of orphans because I have a similar childhood. I'm not technically an orphan. I just have a spot in my brain and my heart. I just love these stories. They make me feel like there's hope, you know? And this is Pollyanna, who moves in with her aunt in New England. And her aunt is kind of like not really wanting a little girl to come live, not just a little girl, like a child to come live with her. And it's like that relationship. And also like Pollyanna, this is all about like gratitude. She plays this game called the Glad Game. And it kind of helps like try to, like, I'm pretty pessimistic and like I'm an idealist. And it's kind of like try to make me bring out the good in life. I don't know. I just really feel like everyone should read it. Like I really feel it's kind of like one of those like really, I don't know. I can't see my husband wanting to read it. But like I really wanted my daughter to read it. I think it's a really good book. Yeah. Okay. The next one is Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. So she wanted to read this. And so this was one I purchased on Amazon just for her for 7th grade. So it's once an ancient book is opened by the eccentric professor, the life of him and his nephew Axel is changed forever. An old piece of paper has tumbled from the book, a priceless parchment that will lead them on an incredible adventure. Sounds interesting. Sorry, I'm like drinking water like crazy. My sinuses are going wild. Okay, so this is definitely YA. I see it on a lot of book lists for like either middle grade or high schoolers, and I love it. It's S.E. Hinton, The Outsiders. And yeah, it's so classic. The movie's so good too. This one's a little bit darker. Like I'd say like it's probably, yeah, like it's like has some, you know, pretty more YA themes to it and stuff like that, but I think she'll like it. And it's all about Ponyboy and his brothers and some trouble that they get into. I really like Ponyboy. Like he's a good kid, and it's all about like class and the division of people. Kind of like similar theme to like the movie Grease, or like a lot of, like, you know, like Good versus Bad, or even like Crybaby, stuff like that. It's like really good. Okay. Next is Oliver Twist. So I wanted her to choose a Dickens. I was like okay with her reading Great Expectations because that's my favorite, but she wanted to read Oliver Twist. And so yeah, so she will be reading her first Dickens, and I think it'll be a nice challenge for her. She hasn't read anything by him, and I'll be honest, like there are definitely, challenging is like subjective, but to me, he personally is the most challenging author I've read because his work has so many characters and is so dense, and I can't just like whip through it. Like I have to take my time reading it, and it takes me a while, and it, not really for the vocabulary, even though there is really good vocabulary, really extensive, really, you know, and also the time he wrote it in. But I don't feel that way reading like Austen or Bronte. There's something about the way Charles Dickens writes that, yeah, I don't. So she's excited to read Another Orphan, timeless orphan story. Okay, so next is a book that she's been having on her book cart for a long time, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Now this, you could say, could be a little bit older. You know, the protagonist is way older, but I think there's really nothing in here that's, to me, like that, like that I don't want her to read. And she's reading adult books now, even on her own. Like she's choosing books on my shelf and her dad's shelf, and I'm not going to tell her, no, don't read that. So I'm okay with it. It's not, you know. So she will read it. It's a really nice copy with the pink edging. And it has the really little like maps and like character things in the beginning. Character maps. Timeline. Yeah, characters with illustrations. And tells you about Charlotte Bronte, her childhood. And this is like my number one favorite book of all time. So I'm really glad that she'll get to read it. Okay, so the next ones are literally all adult. Like, I mean, this was too. You know, Jane Eyre was too. She is reading high school adult level. When we had her reading tested, or when we did like the Sandra Cat testing, she's been reading high school level for a long time. So I'm okay with books challenging her, you know, and I'm okay with most content. It depends on the book. I wouldn't let her read Henry Miller. I wouldn't let her read Bukowski. You know, there are certain things I wouldn't let her read, but otherwise, like, I'm okay. So this is The Three Musketeers by Dumas, and honestly, I really don't know much about this book. I just know it's a classic, and it was on my husband's shelf. So I just know, like, you know, it's made for adults, and she likes adventure stories. So yeah, I know the basics of it, but she chose it. Okay, so the next, I even looked on Common Sense Media, which I don't normally do. And so for the Iliad and the Odyssey, it said 14 plus. And she's 12, will be 13 in January. So it's like, you know, during the school year, I'm okay with it. Like, I know there's violence in these, but she wants to read these. Like, she's really into Greek mythology. And so these were on my husband's shelf. And so she'll be reading on the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. Classics. And then the last one is also an adult, you know, Grimm's, the complete first edition. And so this one, she's just going to read a little bit at a time. And I know there's some violence in here too. But she's not scared of stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll have nightmares. But she reads a lot of references to Grimm all the time, and I'm okay with it. So, yeah. I don't go by levels for books. I just go by interest. That's why, like, you'll see chapter books, us reading chapter books even. Like, we don't care. YA, middle grade, chapter books, throw it all in. Picture books. It's not a big deal to me. But yeah, so I hope you guys found this video interesting. I'd love for you to like this video. It lets me know that you guys are interested in the videos I'm making, and I make a lot of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome upcoming summer and year. Take care. Bye.